طيب, as you know, artificial intelligence is a new thing that has been came. It has been mature recently, but it has been there in the field for years actually. Some of them is since 1970. So the algorithm and building this capability of analyzing a pattern has been there for a long time. As you know, diabetic is ending by blindness, and unfortunately our area, we are considered as one of the most all over the world who has blindness because of diabetic. As you know, Saudi Arabia almost the first of the highest diabetic retinopathy all over the world, and I think some of the American Latin take this first place and we become the second one. So it's really very costly, and each diabetic patient will cost the health system beyond $250,000 in his lifespan. So this is almost like 1 million riyal or dirham, whatever, by our cost. So it's extremely costly. And the idea of bringing artificial intelligence is prevention, because you catch it early, and at the same time, not every patient do the annual exam. On real practice, it's only 50% of them do their exam in our community. In the past, artificial intelligence was only solving the screening for the diabetic retinopathy. Then they add on the age-related macular degeneration. Then I add on the glaucoma as a screening, and multiple things is coming on the way. So it's mature, and it's still an active process actually. The idea is we need to make sure that it's cost-effective and it's accurate. So there is two types of analyzing, which is either feature-based or pattern recognition, and this is technical part. We don't need to go deep on it. There is two things you have to remember: sensitivity and specificity of every test. The issue here is, as much sensitive you become, unless you have a very good system, as much the specificity will be less. So if you hire the sensitivity in a normal system, you will get a lot of false positive in the group. But at the same time, if you want to have a very high specificity, unfortunately, you will get a lot of false negative. So we have to make sure that we understand the specificity and sensitivity in this matter. There is another thing which is called area under the curve. This is how to evaluate the system of the artificial intelligence. Area under the curve, if it's give you that it's above 98%, it's mean this system per se is good for application. So you can consider it just a repetition of the. It's a wide angle of the sensitivity and specificity at the same time. So there is multiple system in the market, and what we see here, for example, to show you, for example, system 1, the minimum area of under the curve is 0.97, which is a high. So this one is applicable. But the sensitivity, as you see here, is 92. Specificity is 89. Almost the one who will get chosen is system number 1. In the artificial intelligence, when we say system, it's mean artificial intelligence, the company, the brand of the artificial intelligence. While in the other one, area under the curve is 0.9, sensitivity is very high, but you look to the specificity, it's low comparing to the other. So this one is you will have in it a lot of false positive, and this is why it was not chosen. The workflow, how to design the system itself. There is a primary care, there is a fundus image taken either automatic, so the patient sit down, tracking system, go zoom in, take the image automatically, and it's available already like this one, or you have a technician on it. Then when the image has been taken, it's get analyzed if it was moderate or severe diabetic retinopathy, because this is the category of the diabetic retinopathy that need referral. So whenever it is a moderate or severe, you refer it. If not, you just give him a follow-up after 6 months. If it was yes, you have two choices. Either you trust the system, so it's referred directly to the ophthalmologist, or you bring someone in between to make sure that this patient is really referable. Then ultimately it will be seen by an ophthalmologist. And this is a very needed, especially in the governmental hospital most of the time. I know some places in Paris, they apply it for their private because they want to optimize, because you know there the work is individual. So you open your clinic, this is your clinic, you pay everything, so you have to optimize your work. And actually we proposed this project since 5 years for our medical city, because we have a waiting list for the screening, more than 3,000 patients. For diabetic, and we are considered as a limited access. It's not every Saudi who can access this medical city, but even though the waiting list is very long, because you cannot hire more than 10 consultants in a department. This has become even over normal hiring. This is also show you how is the path. We did a meta-analysis study, and it was published in International Retina Journal. It's a systemic review and meta-analysis of efficacy and cost effectivity of artificial intelligence screening in diabetic retinopathy. And this is the one if you want to see detail about the subject. So, as you know, the idea of this study is to make sure that the application of artificial intelligence in diabetic retinopathy is cost effective, but at the same time accurate and has a good specificity. So the idea is, this is the risk of the bias, which is acceptable. If you see the artificial intelligence, most of them on the same line, except few things like this one and this one. This is the plot distribution. And we find most of the European and the American, they are very close to each other. The one who get a little bit far away from their statistics, I think it's the Chinese one, because the Chinese is very good in that actually. They have some their own system and they are developing very fast. What we found in the majority, the average of it, they have a very high sensitivity, 92%, but very high specificity also, which is 92%. And if you see the plot here is also above the curve, and this is a good sign that the system could work. Then we start comparing that to the doctors, how the artificial intelligence doing versus the doctor themselves. And for example, if you look to this one, the left side is the specificity and the right side is the sensitivity. The specificity of the doctors is almost close to each other, but the sensitivity is not. So their medical knowledge is more or less the same, but their capability to give a good exam and go for the details, they are different in that. Someone spent a lot of time examining all the periphery of the retina, and someone is just do it fast, 45 degree, nothing there, next patient. And this is what we find it in the doctor themselves. If you look to the result itself, the sensitivity is low for doctors. The specificity is very high, even above the artificial intelligence. What we see it before was 92%. Here, the specificity is 97%. So when you refer a patient to a retina, he will make a diagnosis. Because you refer him, he knows this patient has a disease. He will not do screening. He knows there is a problem. Whenever he gives you the diagnosis, it's very highly specific and accurate. But the problem is screening itself. Screening, the AI is better. Then the application of AI. At the beginning, AI was doing that through the image only. Then they integrate a lot of things like OCT. Because at the beginning, they do it only for 45 degree. I'm telling you the challenge of the AI, how the AI go inside the field itself. They apply for a 45 degree. But why 45? Because, you know, it's easy to have it more or less flat. So you compare it to other eyes, because the AI compare. They have a referral and they compare. We are done here. Just give me 1 minute, please. لا بس احنا نجر الناس يعني. انا جالس امهد لكم الكومبارس يعني. طيب فهم في البدايه حطوا 45 degree لانه it's easy to compare. بس المشكله انه ال 45 degree most of the diabetic issue it came in the periphery. It doesn't come in the pole of the posterior, and this was why the sensitivity in the past was low. Then they start to increase it. Then they add the OCT, and honestly, the OCT, it's only 1 or 2 company which is doing OCT now, because they are looking for the inflammatory markers, especially. But if you said I want a very cost-effective, I would say image is fair enough. Then we will go to the application of it. It doesn't move. Shabab. طيب, discussion, I think we should pass. This is one of the example, for example, Oftai, they call it Oftai, it's a French company. You give him this image, and we was doing that on live actually, but just because we didn't have a time. You raise the image, you just drag it from the machine on the same screen, desktop, you put it on the share folder, then it will take around 2 minutes to do the analysis. When it's give analysis, it's give it very details, like for example, this one. It tell you there is a Drosen, there is an AMD, no diabetic macular edema, no retinopathy, no glaucoma, all of those are negative. So you know exactly when to refer a patient. So the AI is very useful as a machine. Is the AI gonna replace the retina specialist? Actually, no. It's gonna help the retina to get more patient, but the retina has to know how to get used of the AI. And AI is going to replace I think the retina who doesn't know how to use it. It's AI itself. So AI is here to stay actually, and it's developed every year. But as a specialist in the retina, we're still in the area that not all of the patients agree that he will follow that. I'll give you an example. For example, if you do a screening and the AI told you that you will have a stroke at the age of 56, are you going to start the anticoagulant at the age of 55, for example? Because are you believing the AI till this degree or no? This is the social. We are as a community recognizing how valid this AI is. And I think with the coming future, we will see a lot in that field, especially on the deep learning, because in the past, we do algorithm. We know from where the AI bring his judgment. Then we go to the era of a black box. We don't know from where it's come. We are living beyond the black box now, because in the black box, we don't know from where it's come, because we cannot cope with the algorithm that the AI use. This is the deep learning. But after that now, we go beyond the black box. The amount of the judgment that the AI can take it is beyond even tracking the root of it. And this is what makes this subject scary for some decision maker. Thank you very much. And I would like to invite you for the Saudi Retina meeting in Jeddah from 5 to 7.